Good morning, guys. I'm out here getting ready to plant some milkweed for our monarch caterpillars. They've been eating through everything that we planted. Michael actually planted 72 milkweed plants in these. Here, let me show you. Alright, so we have these little, they're called like Jiffy greenhouses. So in the store, that's what it looks like. We got these, a bunch of them on sale, about like 20 of these on sale at Walmart for $1 a piece, which was this for. So those have 72 pods of cocoa peat. I'm doing 4 of them right now. Michael planted an entire one of just milkweed for the monarch caterpillars, and they denuded everything already. Like the plants already grew up and they already ate everything. So we're kind of like freaking out. I didn't know they were going to eat quite so much. I mean, 72 plants is a lot, so. Alright, we have a lot of monarchs happening out in the yard lately, and I haven't got to do an update for you guys on our yard for a while, or what's happening in the garden, so I figured I would do that today. You just water the cocoa peat, and it has these little like grids down in the bottom, so like the water will go down in there, and then the cocoa peat just soaks it up, and they expand, so each little pod expands up. So this entire tray is all milkweed that Michael just planted 2 days ago. And so here's what the pods look like when they kind of like plump up. So they have the milkweed seeds already in them. And he planted, oh, there's a little milkweed seed fuzz there. But he planted the seeds, our own milkweed seeds from our own plants. Because they reproduce them, like the pods, pretty quickly. Alright guys, so let's go in the yard and I'll take you through some of the different stages that our monarchs are going through. So we've got everything from egg to full-grown, adult butterflies. So this milkweed plant is one of the few that we have left that actually has leaves on it. And we have, looks like a few guys on here nibbling away. Got a young one there. So these are all the little monarch caterpillars. This one's growing its seed pods, so once those are done, they still have a ways to grow, but once they're done, they pop open. Sometimes we'll try to catch them just before they pop open, and then we'll have a whole new fresh batch of seeds to plant. We had a bunch of milkweeds right here, like a whole little forest of them, and this is what it ends up looking like once they are denuded. See all these sticks just poking out? So like that was a milkweed, all these sticks that are just poking out, those are all milkweeds, and now they have no leaves on them at all. And we still have caterpillars eating everything they find. But they only eat the milkweed. So there's nothing else that I can feed them, and we are all clean out. Look at this guy. This one is just going for it on that little nub. Voracious appetite. Oh, there's another one. So that's the reason I'm going to be planting a couple hundred more milkweeds today. Okay, we're under our banana tree, and right over here, one just hatched. So let me zoom in so you guys can see better. I don't know if hatched is the proper term, but it just came out of its chrysalis, and now it is an adult butterfly clinging to what's left over of, it's basically the shell of its chrysalis. And so they let their wings dry out for a few hours, and they pump their wings full of a fluid that's in their body, and then any excess strips out that they don't need. The males have, I guess, these scent glands, 2 black dots. When they open up their wings, you can see it, and the females don't have that. Anyway, so he's just hanging out there while he pumps his wings. Here's another monarch that just came out of its chrysalis this morning. I came out and checked, and we had several going. This one is still getting its wings pumped up. See, it's working them there. But that one, I'm pretty sure just came from its chrysalis, which is hanging right in there at the bottom of our house there. You can see it. Okay, so that's a male. Did you see those 2 black dots down towards the bottom part of its wings? And this one just hatched this morning also. I saw the butterfly clinging to it first thing, and then it was, kind of hanging on to different parts of the palm before it finally flew away. And you can't see it from this angle, but there's, oh, there we go. There's a monarch on the milkweed right now. So on this banana stalk there's one fresh green chrysalis, and just yesterday the caterpillar had climbed up here and it was doing its J hang. So they hang upside down and they kind of curl up their upper half of the body upward, sort of in a J shape, and then they start forming their chrysalis. So that's what's happening in the garden right now. We're basically just growing butterflies at the moment and trying to protect the caterpillars. The caterpillars really don't like the ants. Oh, holy crap. You just freaked me out. Look at this thing. Look at this puffing up, squinting at me. Oh, you're the one that lost your tail, huh? It's growing back nicely. That's good. Hey guys, just in the middle of planting. So I did 2 of the trays so far. One's up there I just finished, and the other one's out there. So here's what the pods look like when they're dry and the seeds are ready. They have all these little fuzzies, and that's how they kind of float in the air and disperse and kind of just, you know, plant themselves. So I'm just going to separate all these little seeds from the fuzz and plant them all in this tray. Tell us about our mission that we're on right now.
Looking for milkweed for the caterpillars. Driving up country.
Alright, there's this field that we came to yesterday. Oh, did you find one?
On it already.
Oh! I didn't bring the little cage. So we got a bouquet of milkweed and one extra here. You guys see that? They're pretty cute. There he is. So what else?
How many are you going to get?
I'm trying to cut back on all of them.
Well, were you out here before showing how the caterpillars denuded the...
Yeah, I showed that on Saturday when we were at the swap meet. And yeah, that's what's left of the forest, milkweed forest. Little sticks.
Look at that.
It's a nice bouquet.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, we're not even halfway done yet.
Yeah.
I still gotta get on the other side. Alright, so there's our roses. This one's pretty full. Look at that one. It's about all I could fit in there. These are my only 2 little vases here. So that'll have to work. This one is the Miss All American Beauty, the hot pink ones, and then strawberries and cream, Double Delight, which that one is too. Really pretty. Along with the Belinda's Pink Dream. Good morning, guys. We're headed out to Bahia. We're gonna go eat at maca. Michael just stopped at the caterpillar shop, bought a
cat hat.
We've got a rogue butterfly, and this one just what do they call it, eclosed this morning, and so we're setting her free. It's a female, so you can see there's no dark scent glands or scent spots on the back, and so now we're putting her outside. Yeah, she looks like a good one. She likes you.
I know, you want to go back in where it's warmer. It's like the coldest June I've ever been here on Maui. It was...
Right now we're working with the green team. We've got blue team over there, but I just cleaned the green team's little hutch here. Each time I clean their cage, we give them a health check. So I kind of just look at them, make sure their stripes look nice and sharp, make sure their filaments look good, just kind of, you know, make sure they're still really healthy as far as you can see, as far as you can tell. So that's about all the milkweed I'm going to put in here, and I try to like prop it up and lean it against the side so it sits up off of the floor of the cage, so that way their frass drops to the bottom and they can be up here away from it, up in the fresh milkweed greens. And now it's time to grab the babies out. Look at this one eating this flower. Okay guys, we have the green team, which has 5 caterpillars, and the blue team, which has 3. So they're in fresh cages, fresh milkweed, although I think we need to go out and get some more because I do have some other caterpillars in another container that are probably going to need more. We have 2 on the ceiling up here. One is already spinning its silk button. I'll try to show you from the top maybe, but it's the one that's right up over here, that one. So he's currently pretty fat and he's spinning his silk button, getting ready to do the J-hang. And then the other one I think is getting ready too. They hang up there for a little while before they start spinning their button. Okay, here's what the blue team is doing this evening. We have one that's crawling around on the milkweed and 2 jay hangers up here. Okay, so that's blue team. Green team, we have 2 little ones up on the top still that I think are getting ready to move into their next instar phase. And then there's a big one up top there crawling around. And then another one down here eating. They're not doing anything quite yet. They're moving around a little and they're kind of twitching their noses like the Cadbury bunny, like bick, 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 but they're not like shedding their skin or anything yet. So I'll check back with you guys if they do anything other than the Cadbury buck buck. Good morning, guys. Here are the 2 chrysalis. I missed them last night. I had to go to bed finally. It was getting too late. I stayed up till almost midnight and I was working and I kept checking on them and they still hadn't changed, and then they changed sometime in the early morning hours. So we're on a milkweed run right now, and right down here is where it is. The whole little stretch right along here. This is the way to Kihei. What do we do for these animals?
They yelped. They must be looking pretty good. They whistled.
You are cute. Alright, there it is. Can you guys see all the fluff? It's like all fluffy. Those are all the seeds. Like the seed pods that have broken open. Look at that guy going for it. There's another one here. Pretty fat. Look at that one. They look good, healthy. We have to go home and drop these guys off. I'm going to clean their cages, refresh their food, and then we have some errands to run, so we'll come back out and do those after I take care of them. Okay, so we're removing chrysalis from this container right now, and I just want to show you what happens and why we're trying to save them from being outside is because they can get parasites, maggots, all kinds of things being outside when they're caterpillars. See this silk thread coming out of it? So the caterpillar turned into its chrysalis, and that silk thread is from a parasite that it had. So unfortunately, there's nothing that we can do for that, so we're just removing that. And then we're going to check the other ones and make sure they're okay. Alright, so hopefully this one will be healthy. The other one we just pulled out was nice looking, so.
So they spin some silk up here.
Yeah, and it can stretch out pretty far. See, there's a black tip on there. If you don't want to grab that, so you want to grab above where the silk starts, and then it should pull out a web of silk once you get a grip on it.
Oh, there we go, yeah.
See that? So that's the grab above the black, just pull that web of silk off, and then kind of ball it up so it makes it a little bit stronger, easier to get a grip on. Its chrysalis is hard now, so I always wait until they're hard enough to be able to move, so they're not, too soft and fresh. So I'm just sticking that silk up there to the tape. So I just do it with my hand kind of under it, making sure it won't fall off there. Fold the tape over the rope. Press it right back down on the other side so it holds the other side of the silk. Alright, this chrysalis is hanging from the milkweed. Michael's going to trim that piece of milkweed apart. And we'll hang it by that. We just got home and look who is in our seeds. These are our milkweed seeds. Milkweed and coneflower. I thought there was one that died in there for a second. Its wing was all up in there, but I think it's just sunning itself on the side.
Are they laying in it or eating it?
They're laying in it. Oh, because it's cold and wet, so maybe they're cooling off? Alright, there's a new fresh monarch. in our living room. Just came out. I didn't even know. I've been like running around getting ready. We're gonna go to the beach this morning and go shoot for the blog. And
it's a male.
It's a male?
Mm-hmm.
This is the one I just photographed last night. I thought I had more time. I thought it just started turning black last night, right? Look at all the chrysalis now too. Let's see, how many do we have? 3, 6, 9, 12, you, 15, 16 chrysalis. Probably give it a couple hours, come back, and then let it go. But for now, it's just kind of working its wings and pumping the fluid into its wings and letting those dry. So those take a few hours to dry, but I don't know how long it's been open already, so we'll just have to come back and check on it. I was out here looking for eggs, and there's a new butterfly that hatched out here. I guess they have a certain area that they like to hang their chrysalis right around here. It's hanging on, just letting its wings dry. I wonder if it's a male or a female. Here's our milkweed plants. These are sprouting their new leaves. Hopefully those will hurry up and grow so we can have more caterpillar food. I just finished cleaning the original Green Team's cage. These are the ones that were really small last week, so it's funny how much they can change in just, well, actually it's less than a week's time. They were so tiny before, now they've gotten huge. I don't know, maybe if I keep doing this, if this really becomes, well, I don't know, I guess this has become our hobby, huh, raising monarchs. But anyway, yeah, if we do a side entrance, that might be another idea instead of having to lift up the top. And then I just tie a little cord around the outside of this, tie that tight, so that will hold in case anyone's crawling across the top. Oh, we scored. Look at this little baby. So I'm going to take him inside, and it's best to get them as young as possible. If you can't get the egg, then at least when they're really little like this, because they're so prone to getting parasites when they're out in the wild, and also predators, especially when they're quite young like this. So I'm going to go ahead and take him in, and we'll see if there's any eggs out here. So when you're looking for the eggs, they'll be usually on the underneath side of the leaf. So you can see that little white blob there. That is one of the monarch eggs. So I just pluck that whole little leaf off, add it to my little container here. And see, this one, you can see the egg is laying on the top of the leaf, so it's not always on the underneath side. Just depends, I guess, on, you know, what's easiest for them. But I'm going to go ahead and take this little leaf here. Oh gosh, there's 2 of them. Okay, so we've got one on the underneath side, one on the top. These chew marks are also another sign that there is a caterpillar in the area, so I bet you he's probably on the underneath side, maybe a little one. But the chew marks also let predators know that there is a food source nearby. So, there he is. Oh, it's another little baby. Okay, I don't know if you guys will be able to see there. See him? He's on this leaf here, on the underneath side. Okay, we're going to take him in. There he is. Okay, I've got one crawling around here, so I'm going to take these in, separate the eggs from the babies, and we'll come back out and see if there's any more. Here's one that just hatched just now. So let me see if I can zoom in and then you can see what it's up to here. Look how tiny that is. So its head is black, and right now it's munching on its eggshell, basically. So it came out of the egg, and they turn right around and eat their eggshell, and then they start eating the leaf that they're on. So this leaf that you're looking at is already dried, and so that's why I have to move it onto a fresh leaf after it hatches. Alright, so it looks like he's on the move now. He's done eating his eggshell, so I have to transfer him to the daycare portion over here. So these are the ones, the new hatchlings. So I'm going to move him over there, away from these other eggs, because if you leave one that's hatched in with the eggs, it might accidentally, cannibalize one of the eggs, because they're just, their instinct is to eat the egg, right? Okay, and then we'll move him onto this side, onto a fresh leaf. So as the eggs hatch, I'm just going to transfer them into the daycare here. So we have our little Monarch Egg Nursery going on. Let's see if we can see if he's discovered his new leaf. See the little black tip, little black head? You can see his leftover eggshell down there too in the center of the old leaf. I feel like he's looking up right at us. Just come home to random butterflies hanging on the curtains. This one's a male.